times we almost came back, but ultimately this is conference championship week in basketball. That's where we started last year. So I felt like if we didn't do it now, this thing was never coming back. But we're back.
Yeah, March is a great time of year.
Great
time to come back. Wish we would have gotten a podcast or two in during the football season.
Yeah,
but
I know. It would have been next year, right?
Kind of skipped right over the football season, but
I know. And
Georgia won again, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll talk about football a little bit, but obviously it's March, so we got to talk mainly basketball. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens, but we got some other stuff planned anyway. So I say we just pick off where we kind of left off last year, and that was we made a few predictions back in 2022 for this upcoming, which is now this school year. And some of them actually were pretty decent. So we had a bold prediction, like, I don't know, whatever. We made bold predictions. So it's not stuff that was, like, supposed to happen. And of the three we made, we went 2 out of 3, and the third one wasn't, like, way off. So, Adam, you hit it on the head. You said a new team would reach the college football playoff. Obviously, TCU not only made it, but they made it to the championship. And you also did say it would not be USC, and they had a good season but came up short. So that was also a pretty good call.
Stinks.
You said that pretty much when you said they wouldn't make it last year. So glad to see some things never change.
Nope.
We'll see. Maybe next year they'll make it, though. I don't know. I was just waiting to see your reaction. And then, Beeve, you said this is going to be a homer take, but I'm going Florida State will win 9 games. What do? They do just that.
Keep in mind, right after I make this prediction, Adam shook his head and said, no chance.
Yeah.
I just want that known. I rewatched that clip. Adam said, no, not happening. So,
well,
to be fair, I didn't think it was happening either.
That was.
I just pulled something out of my ass because I didn't know what to predict. So,
hey man, it worked. That was pretty shocking, but they had a good year, and their football team might be back. I don't know. We'll see. And then you and I, Beeve, also had that a new team that hadn't won the playoff in the national title in the last decade would win. We weren't right, but we're kind of close. 2 of the 4 teams in the college football playoff haven't won in at least a decade. So, I mean, ultimately Georgia was just a juggernaut, but
yeah,
I don't hate that. I don't feel like bad. Like, it wasn't like my Washington State pick last year. So,
no.
I mean,
for a bold pick, it wasn't bad. I mean, to get TCU in the championship.
Yeah. So, I mean, maybe our football picks are better than our basketball, but we'll see. This year could be different.
Who knows?
Yeah. All right. So, let's talk our team of the podcast. That was NC State. So we chose, because college baseball, at least for me, and I think Adam and Beeve, I don't know if you have like a rooting interest, but it's like none of us really have like a super rooting interest in college baseball. So we picked a team as a podcast, NC State, and they missed the tournament. However, they were snubbed, I think. I mean, it was all over Twitter.
I forgot how it went down because it was so long ago. It was like last June, but like I remember they got absolutely snubbed. Like they were the first team out of the tournament.
Essentially, and the team that got in that probably shouldn't have was Ole Miss, who won it all. I'm not discrediting Ole Miss at all, but NC State seemed like they had a better resume. With that being said, is it fair that we can declare NC State a claimed national title?
I mean, if you didn't say it, I was about to say it. So
Wisconsin won in 2020 for basketball. So
they did. I have a shirt. They won the simulation, and I mean, I would argue that means probably more than most national titles.
Yep.
So yeah, we're claiming it. NC State, congrats, you guys won it all last year. However, we're gonna probably pick a new team because they were hard to watch last year. They had a lot of talent.
Tommy Tanks was the reason we got on him early.
Yep, he was.
He was just hitting nukes at the beginning of the season.
He was. He's already got 2 this year. He's hitting .370 for LSU. Yep, because he left NC State. He betrayed us. We joined NC State for him, and then he's like, "See you guys. I'm missing the tournament, and I'm leaving after 1 year." So he's on LSU. We're I think we should be an anti-LSU baseball podcast, personally, but we'll pick a new team later on in the show that we'll root for this year. We put a list of, I don't know, like 20-some teams that are like good but not top 10.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Yeah, that's about it for baseball for now.
I have the resumes pulled up, Jim. NC State versus Ole Miss from last year. NC State was 36-21 with a 14-15 conference record, and Ole Miss was 42-23 with a 14-16 conference record.
Yeah.
So very comparable.
Very comparable.
I don't know the quality of those wins or losses because I'm not looking deep into their schedule, but
yeah,
comparable records.
Yeah, I remember reading like that committee was like very biased against the ACC. I don't know.
Yeah, I read something like that too. I remember now that you said that.
Yeah, so that's that. We also did that NIL draft. I don't know if you guys recall that, where essentially
I took all the.
Essentially, we took, we did a draft with Justin, our friend. He was a guest, and we basically had that. If you were like a company, you get athletes for the upcoming season. So we have that, and I think I actually might be able to pull it up. Let me see if I can get that on the screen here. Yeah, I should be able to. Can I make this full screen? Oh, this is good enough. Okay, I'm going to share this. Hopefully this works. Share screen. Boom. Yep. Okay. Can we all see this? Yeah. Okay. All right, cool. So this is what we ended up having. We can kind of go over it, like what picks were good, what picks were bad, like value-wise especially. I guess we can just go pick by pick. I mean, Bryce Young at the 1-1. I don't hate that now. Like, he's a huge name, and he's getting all the attention that he'll be the number 1 overall pick. Like, I don't know. I feel like that one is fairly solid. I mean, for a 1-1, I don't know. Maybe there's better, but he was certainly up there. I don't know if you guys have any takes.
No, that's a safe 1-1.
Yeah.
I mean, you knew starting quarterback at Alabama. You knew what you were getting with that.
Right, exactly.
It's safe.
All right, so we'll go to the 1-2, which was Levi Dunn.
It's a solid pick. That's a solid pick.
It is a solid pick, and I think honestly, weirdly,
is she number 1 in all of college for her NIL deals?
She's got to be. That probably should have been the 1-1 in hindsight.
I think she's the 1-1.
And it's crazy too.
After that, I think my draft goes downhill, but she is the star of the squad right there.
It's pretty crazy though, because I think she's been injured this year.
Yeah, she was like riding around on a cart or something.
Yeah, so like, but the fact like that she's injured and she's still like, it's crazy. She's still like the top NIL earner.
Bryce Young was the top for football.
Okay, so not a bad.
It was probably Bryce Young, to be honest.
I don't know. It didn't bring up Livy Dunn's, but
yeah, I mean that's hard to tell. You're comparing very different NIL deals and all that too.
Different.
pick 3, CJ Stroud. I thought that was a strong pick.
He was the second highest earner in college football.
There you have it. So, I mean, again, so far, I think the first 3 picks are pretty good. Think at 4, which was our guest, this is where it might have skewed a little bit. I mean, Quinn Ewers, he actually was decent last year. Obviously, he went down with that injury against Alabama. Had he not, they probably would have won that game. But, like, probably not racking in that much money. Like, I don't think he really got, like, a ton of attention, at least less than I thought he probably would. But, like, he's a talented football player, and it'll be interesting to see where he goes from here. But I don't know. Probably at 1-4, not the best pick, but at the swing, at the 2-5 or the 5th overall, he got Caleb Williams, who won the Heisman, and I'd say
he's the 3rd highest earner behind Stroud.
And so there you go. Yeah. So that's a pretty good pick there. We don't have to
on 3. They have the rankings, and it doesn't have Bryce Young or CJ Stroud because I think they declared. But yeah, Caleb Williams is the highest NCAA football player on this list.
Okay.
Or actually, no, Arch Manning is number 2, but I don't think he was eligible, was he?
Not for the draft last year. He will be if we do one this year. He will be eligible.
These rankings are interesting because they got Bronny James at number 1, which doesn't seem.
Well, I think it's for next year, probably.
But Livy is number 3, so out of
So I mean,
it's Bronny and then Arch Manning and Livy. So
interesting. Wow,
I think Arch Manning is overrated.
Okay,
heard it here first. Think who's overrated?
Arch Manning.
Yeah, they came out and said that he'd be competing with Quinn Ewers for a job this year. I think it's Ewers' job. I think that.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. I'll be very curious. I'm shocked that they're both staying there though, because whatever, we'll see.
Anyways,
all right, at 6, Paige Becker tore her ACL shortly after, and I still think this is a good pick. Honestly,
according to Sports Illustrated, I don't know. I think this was written at the end of December. Her estimated valuation was about $825,000,
which is very good, especially for someone who isn't going to touch the court at all this year. Like, I think it's a good pick regardless. I think if she would have played, there's a chance that she could have even moved up. I mean, one of the most talented women college basketball players ever. So. I don't know. I think that's a good pick. 7 was Haley Cavender. Not a horrible pick at all. I mean, certainly still doing well.
On 3 has her valuation at $814,000.
Yeah, so
right up there, like Beckers.
Yeah, right up there.
They have the Cavender twins right above Zach Edey to put it into perspective.
Okay, makes sense with that. Wow. Don't know who's paying him that much, but whatever. Then the 8 was Van Lith. I think that was probably a reach, honestly. I mean, maybe she's in the top 20, but I doubt even on any of those.
This one has her at 94, 481,000.
Yeah, so she fell quite a bit because I remember, this time last year it was a lot different, but obviously she had made the Final Four run, and we'll see because I think with the basketball players, we really, until March happens, it's hard to really tell. But 9 was Armando Bacot. Here's what I'm going to say about this one. Obviously not looking great, especially with UNC being terrible. He was in Outer Banks season 3. He had like a role. It wasn't just a cameo. He had like a small role. And I don't know if that's factored into NIL, but I think that actually, like at 9, I don't hate it because of that. If he wasn't in that, I think probably a pretty bad pick.
Yeah.
But because he was in Outer Banks,
I didn't know that.
Helped his stock.
Yeah, I think that's probably true.
And then at 10, Hannah Cavender, same stuff. I mean,
solid.
Yeah, Then we got Travis Hunter.
This was the pick of the draft.
Yeah, I mean,
Travis Hunter was. On3 has the valuation number 6 overall, 1.7 mil.
Yeah, and I think next year at Colorado, being at like now a bigger school, it'll be next year that could be really good. But yeah, like obviously last year, like football wise, it's like didn't hear a ton, but I think next year football wise he'll be pretty massive playing at now a school that gets televised games more often. But I think he had like a couple picks last year, a few touchdowns maybe, because he plays cornerback and receiver. So we'll see. I'll be interested to see how Colorado does next year. Obviously they have a lot of talent going that way, so we'll see. And then Suni Lee was picked at.
That's another good pick.
That's a good pick, yeah.
Yep, gold medalist. Yeah, and I think she's having a monster year in gymnastics, so good value there at the 12. 13, Sharif O'Neal, who's not even in college. I think we can X this one out. But it happens. At the time, it looked like he was going to play another year. And then he declared for no reason. And yeah, I don't know about that one. But all right. Amari Bailey at 14. I think he's averaging close to like 10 this year, right? Just under 10. I think I looked at it. So, I mean, yeah. All right. Kool-Aid McKinstry. I think this was actually sneaky good.
He is listed just right behind Paige Beckers for evaluation. I was going to
say, his name
Beckers is projected 756,000, and McKinstry is 736. So just 20K between the two. But yes, they're right next to each other on this list.
Yeah, because his name picked up some steam like midway through college football season. I was like, hey, I already know him because of this draft. But yeah, okay, that's interesting. Rattler might have been one of the worst picks of the draft. He sucks.
He revived his career in the last 2 games of the regular season.
What's that?
He revived his career in the last 2 games of the season last year.
Yeah, I mean, he's still probably not making any money. Well, I'm sure he's making
no, hold on, Jim.
Is he?
On3 has their valuation for Spencer Rattler at $963,000.
Really?
23rd overall.
Okay, so not a horrible pick.
Not bad in the slightest.
That shocks me. But I remember when I took him, I was like, he's got the name value, is what I said. I guess, wow. Okay. 17, this is the worst pick of the draft. Dog Eater. To be fair, he was a legend in March, so that had just happened. But I wasn't thinking most legends from March stay in March, especially in a Cinderella team. He transferred to Bryant. I'm like, they're going to be super good. They were already good. And I'm like, he just upgraded teams, and then they are already out. They've already lost in their conference tournament. He'll never be heard from again. I bought into the hype. But by the way, Buffalo Wild Wings gave this man money. So to be fair, they are also idiots, not just me. Because he got a bag from them.
But good for him to get his bag.
Yeah.
Have a 1 month run of good basketball and get yourself a bag. Good for him.
He's a good ball player, but probably not the best pick. All right, 18.
That's a funny name. I don't know what to tell you.
Silla, did he do anything this year?
No. Let me check his stats. I don't know if he even got in the game.
Okay. I mean, at the very least, if you're like a toilet paper company, it's you hire him. Like again,
I don't think he played.
This was like if you were like a fictitious company, who would you want? And you had 3 like TikTok girls and then 2 guys with awesome names. Like I think your company would be fine.
He played 1 game and had a solo tackle.
Okay. All right.
1 game, 1 tackle is his stat line this year, yeah.
All right. Then 19 is Kate Klubnik.
It's a best pick of the 5th round picks here.
Yeah. Well, the coldest Crawford. Did he do anything?
No, he transferred.
He's in Nebraska, isn't he?
No, he transferred.
Is he not at Nebraska?
He transferred out of Nebraska?
Yeah, I don't know where to.
I was gonna say I know I heard his name a couple times, but I didn't know if there's anything going on there.
I thought he transferred.
All right. Well, I mean, honestly, reflecting on it, we did better than
Louisiana. Yep.
Okay. Honestly, kind of better than I expected on those. Like,
not bad.
Not bad, yeah. For like a year ago to like be like these are going to be the best NIL people. I'm sure there's people that we didn't have on our radars that were higher up, but I mean, not bad at all. So that might be something we do again at the end of this year. That was fun. I enjoyed doing the draft. I think we should do more drafts, but yeah, we'll move on to more current stuff. I think that's it for like our recaps, unless you guys got anything.
Looking at these like rankings, I think some of the biggest jumpers for these like NIL evaluations, Bo Nix. Who would have thought to draft Bo Nix? Okay. He's top 10.
Wow.
And then Jordan Travis is top 15.
Okay. And other than that, though, it was like pretty much people we had on the list.
Pretty standard, yeah.
Wow, that's impressive then that we got covered that much ground. All right, I'll take it. Yeah, you guys want to talk like college hoops now then?
Sure.
Conference championship week. I mean, this is kind of the main thing we are going to talk about today, although we spent a lot of time recapping. But yeah, here we are. Some teams have already actually punched their tickets. I have right now, as of now, before we started recording, I don't know if there's games going on tonight, but Farley Dickinson, Southeast Missouri State, UNC Asheville, Drake, and Kennesaw State have all punched tickets. Obviously, more to come in some of those smaller conferences, but yeah, so far that's what we got. And we're going to go over the bigger conferences, so the ACC, Big 10, Big East, Big 12, Pac-12, and SEC, as well as anything else you guys want to talk about. But where should we start? You guys want to just go alphabetical? So ACC?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sure.
Okay. I think I'm just going to start off by saying I think the ACC's having a down year. Like, because I've always thought ACC for basketball is one, SEC for football is one. I don't think that's the case for basketball anymore.
No.
It's not what it was a couple of years ago. I mean, there's still a couple teams like near the top, but they're not the traditional teams. It's like Miami, I think, is like top 10 or something. Virginia's up there. But Coach K's gone, obviously. So it's like Duke's fallen a little bit. I mean, they've had an all right year, but yeah, where are we leaning? I got my list of teams that I got, but who you guys got? We'll just go champions, and then if you want to talk about other teams. So who wants to share their champ?
I'm going with Duke.
Duke, okay.
They've been hot to end the year. They were end of the year on a 6-game winning streak.
All right. Wow.
9 of 11, I think, if my math is correct. They got blown up by Miami in one of those losses, but then they lost a close one to Virginia.
Okay.
So,
all right.
I think they're playing well at the right time. Their freshmen are kind of figuring out how to play basketball in college, and I think they're gelling at the right time.
Okay. Beef?
I have no clue. It seems pretty wide open here.
It is. I looked
maybe the 12 seed Florida State Seminoles?
Well, I can't pick Miami to win the tournament because they lost to Florida State, and any team that lost to Florida State this year cannot be good. So, let's just say F it. I North Carolina in March.
Ooh,
let's do it.
That would be big because they are playing for their lives right now. They came into the year at 1, and they pretty much have to win that tournament to get in now. So that would be huge. I have Virginia taking it. I think they're well coached, and like I said, it's a very open ACC this year. And I'm not sold on Miami. and it doesn't sound like either of you guys are. So we'll see. But yeah, that one will be really interesting to see how it ends up. Yeah. Okay.
So Duke's the betting favorite.
Okay.
Really?
What are their odds? They're plus odds though, right?
Plus 270, and then Miami and Virginia are plus 350.
Jeez, that's pretty wild when it's like that open where it's
North Carolina's plus 750.
Good value. You might want
Solid value.
You might want to go put some cash on that.
Oh, if I put cash on it, they're done in their first game.
All right, fair enough. I was thinking I might make a trip to like Illinois or something for the tournament if we, as a podcast, come up with like a team that has like a sleeper team and maybe throw some cash on it. But we'll see. Okay, what's after ACC alphabetical? There's like so many bigs.
Big.
See, I didn't know you did the 12 because
do you do the numbers? Do you do the numbers?
Yes. Yeah, do it based on
12, then East, then 10.
Well, 10 would come before 12.
10 is written though.
Oh, is it? Oh, see, now we're getting complicated here.
So we'll go with the Big 12.
All this alphabet shit's confusing.
I know it is. Big 12. There's a lot of talent in the Big 12 this year. I'm just going to start off with this one and say I'm learning from my mistake of last year, and I'm going to pick Kansas because last year was like the first year I ever didn't go with them, and I was obviously wrong. So I am going with Kansas this year. What do you guys got?
Well, I was going to pick Kansas, but I kind of want to, switch it up. I don't know. I think it'd be a little fun to switch it up. I don't know.
All right, fair.
No, never mind. Kansas.
Kansas, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm looking. I don't know.
I mean, they're coming off a national title, and
I think it's Kansas.
Yeah. All right.
Plus 250.
Okay. So then Big East next.
Mm-hmm.
Big East is surprisingly pretty good this year. I guess it's not like super surprising, but like there could be a national champion within the Big East this year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm going to pick a Big East team, but there could. There's a couple of teams, and I don't necessarily think the team that I have winning the Big East is actually going to make the furthest run in the tournament. But anyway, who wants to go first on this one?
Go for it, B.
Creighton.
Creighton, okay. Nice.
It's between Creighton and UConn for me. I know Marquette's like the 1 seed, but I don't know. We'll go Creighton Creighton.
Okay.
I'll go Marquette.
Okay, and I had UConn. And I think Marquette's going to make the longest run in the tournament. But I think for this, it's going to be UConn. Because what I also realized last year is I based way too much of my bracket off the stupid conference tournaments. And every year, it's some team that gets bounced early in their conference tournament. And they're like, all right, time to try. And then because like if you're comfortably in, you just sometimes don't really put as much towards your conference tournament. But we'll see. I like the variety so far. All right, Big Ten. I think this is, I'm just going to say, a very down year for the Big Ten.
Yeah.
I think pretty much any team but Minnesota could win this tournament. Genuinely.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, I think it's going to be the 1 seed Purdue. I was going between them and Indiana, but Indiana beat them in Purdue. So I think if they got a rematch, Purdue would have a little chip on their shoulder. I don't
think Purdue's going to make a deep run in the tournament, to be honest with you.
You do or don't? Yeah, probably not. I don't know if any Big Ten team will get past the Sweet 16 this year.
Give me Indiana, though.
Okay. All right. In this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I also think Northwestern loses the first game they play in the Big Ten. Illinois or Penn State. I think Illinois could win it all too.
Illinois could.
They have not put it together. Neither is Michigan. Michigan has the talent, but they just
Yeah, I don't like their path though. That's the issue.
No, it's
they have
tough.
to go through Purdue early, and then.
But I can see Illinois. You beat Penn State.
Yeah, Illinois got it. They're on the right side of the bracket, I think. I don't know. Anyone that's in Northwesterns, I mean, what a joke of a 2 seed.
Iowa could always make a run too, just because they're so good offensively. They just don't play any defense.
Yeah. Michigan State, I mean, they're always good. They're well coached. And
Michigan State would be my pick.
Okay.
Well, I was between Indiana and Michigan State, and since Adam got Indiana, I'll take Michigan State.
So one common theme, we all were between Indiana and someone, so it's interesting. Okay, so what do we have? Pac-12, P's before S, right?
Yep.
Okay, Pac-12. I'm not picking Washington State this year, and if they do win, I am more than willing to do a punishment because
they've won 6 games in a row, Jim.
Of course they have. I know they're the 5 seed, and they actually have a chance this year, but I'm not picking them because last year I was like, oh, they're kind of like playing well right now. They're hitting their stride. I'm not picking them this year, though. I'm just not. I can't. But
it's UCLA for me.
It's UCLA for me as well. Yeah. I like that. I've never been high on Arizona. Last year I wasn't, and I probably should have. Okay. I like that.
That's a bad look to have all 3 across the board.
No.
That can only come back to bite us in the ass.
I like this because
somebody's got to take Washington State.
I need some similarities this year.
Washington State's plus 2,200.
That's value right there, baby.
If they win, how about this? If they win, I'll put $100 in our bracket pool, and the winner wins $100. When we draft teams for the podcast, how we did it last year, and we had that point system, where we drafted teams, I will put $100. If Washington State wins, I will give the winner $100. If they win their conference tournament. If not, we're doing it for fun. But I am more than willing to do that.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
That's only if that, because then I have a chance to win it back. But yeah, I'm going to throw that out there. I don't think they are going to win, but if they do, it's already a slap in the face, so I might as well be punished for it.
I think if you go in bet in Illinois before these tournaments, I think we put $5 down on Washington State at plus 2,200.
I could. I don't know when I would do it, but
yeah, me neither.
I mean, it's not that far. It's like an hour. Get done with work. I don't know.
It's 2 hours round trip, though.
Yeah, but I'll stop at Fazoli's on the way back.
It starts on Wednesday. That's when at noon.
If we get some good value here, maybe. All right, and then I might have to put a long shot for tournament champions. Okay, let's see here. SEC. This one is going to be interesting, I think. What are you guys thinking? I was between 2 teams.
I'm between Alabama and Kentucky.
Those were my teams I was between.
Me too.
I
don't want to make an insensitive joke, but I'm taking Alabama, and we'll leave it at that.
I am also taking them. Just because Kentucky failed me last year.
Give me Tennessee.
That's exactly why I'm not taking Kentucky, because I have flashbacks from St. Peter's last year, and they were my entire tournament champion.
Yeah, mine too. I'm taking Tennessee out of the 5 seed.
Okay. Hey, Tennessee, I think they did really well in the conference tournament last year, right?
Sounds familiar.
Because I remember we were all pretty high on them in the actual tournament, and then they also laid a goose egg.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. Okay. So I think I said, but I have Bama, and similar reason as Beeve. I was between them and Kentucky, and I'm not going to pick.
And screw Kentucky. Yep. Exactly.
But of course, when you do something like that, they're going to go and win it all. Because like the year I take Kansas, they won it all, and so the year I don't take Kentucky and Washington State, they're going to win it all.
Exactly.
But that's how it goes, right? All right. So that's the big conferences. Any like other things? Anything going on with like Houston? They're looking like the number 1 overall seed at this point.
Yeah, they're good.
Didn't they have a scare the other night?
They
Didn't they have a buzzer beater, like a nasty buzzer beater?
Memphis. They went on a buzzer beater.
Oh.
But yeah, I don't know. We'll see how they end up doing, but yeah, obviously there's some decent like mid-major teams this year, so that'll be fun. It's always fun when there are teams like that can make a lot of noise.
Mm-hmm.
Other than Gonzaga, I don't like when they're good, but yeah, and Gonzaga could make noise too, obviously. So we'll see. St. Mary's, I don't know. Anything else with like conference tournaments? Otherwise, we can talk about bubble teams and like what teams need to do to get in.
Yeah, I see that.
All right. So we're kind of sitting on a bubble right now as Badger fans.
Unfortunately.
And I think they might be the team to talk about as far as the bubble. Obviously, like other big teams, Michigan's kind of on the bubble, but I'd argue they're out unless they like really make a run in the tournament, in the Big Ten tournament. UNC, we kind of said when you said you have them as your ACC champ. They probably need to do that, but again, like does like a team like Michigan or UNC, if they make it to their championship and lose, is that enough? Either of those teams?
See, Michigan's 3-11 in quad 1 games.
Yeah, that's all.
Bit rough, and they have a quad 4 loss.
Ooh, who is that?
Who they lost to?
They lost to like one of the small Michigan teams, right? It wasn't like Eastern Michigan.
Gosh,
they lost to one of the small Michigan teams. I'm pretty sure.
That's rough.
They beat Eastern Michigan by 5. They lost to who did they lose to? Oh, Central Michigan. You're right.
Oh God! Wow. You think Juwan's leash is getting tighter, or you think he's still fine?
I don't know. That guy's a buffoon.
I know. Well, Michigan basketball Twitter was going after him the other night.
I just want it to be known that Central Michigan is 10-21 on the year.
Oh no!
One of those 10
good
against
small.
Michigan.
That's bad. That's bad.
I don't know. I think if they probably depends on what the other bubble teams do, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if Michigan makes it to the championship and puts up a tough game, I mean, they'd have to get through.
Plus, they have to go through Purdue to get there, so
they'd probably get in.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I can see them making a run, and please no, just please no.
We're not there yet. We don't have to worry about it at this point in time. Just the possibility of it. What about UNC? You think they're pretty much win the tournament or bust?
Yeah, they're 1-9 in quad 1 games.
Can I change my ACC pick? I didn't know that information.
What are you changing it to?
Never mind. No, I'm keeping it. I did not know that information.
Hey man, they battled together.
We're riding.
Quad 3 losses too.
Christ, they stink. What am I doing?
Hey,
I don't know who it is.
The talent.
They lost to Michigan, I think.
Ooh, is that Michigan's one quad 1, or that might not even be quad 1? It's probably quad 2.
I don't know who that is. Oh no, sorry, they beat Michigan.
Oh, well, there you have it. So that's interesting because if it were to come down to those two, which I don't think it would, but
they lost to Wake Forest, which is a quad 3 loss.
Okay.
I don't know who their other quad.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Virginia Tech might be another quad 3. I'm not sure.
Interesting. All right. Okay. Badgers. What do you think they have to do?
Well, Lenardi moved him out of the tournament today.
Okay.
So I think he probably
in favor of Penn State, I assume.
Yeah, Penn State's in the last 4 byes now.
Wow, they shot up.
Mississippi State, Utah State, Rutgers, and Nevada are in the last 4 in.
Okay. Interesting. So you think if they make it farther than Rutgers or Penn State?
I think the Badgers need to win 2 games.
Okay. Makes sense, yeah. So that would be Ohio State and Iowa.
Yeah.
They beat Iowa in the season twice, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think they have a chance if they win the first one, but it depends on what other teams do.
Yeah. All right. Any other major bubble teams that are worth talking about? Like big time schools? I mean, obviously there's other teams on the bubble, but I feel like those are the three that usually make it that are worth talking about. It's funny, Kentucky was on the bubble halfway through the year, and then all of a sudden they shot way up.
6 seed now.
Yeah, that's an impressive run. Okay. Anything else at all from college hoops?
No, I think that was it.
You want to call any long shots right now for the NCAA tournament, or are you saving that for your brackets?
I mean, look.
Kind of got to see the bracket first. I don't know.
Right, but I'm saying plus 2,000 or higher odds that you just are I want to call that now.
Let me look at the odds. Hold on. Let me look at these odds.
Okay.
Gonzaga's a 3 seed this year so far. I mean, obviously, Joe Lenardi isn't.
Right. Well, I like to go.
I think they can still make noise. I still think they can still make noise this year.
That's insane. Their odds are plus 2,000.
Okay. I'd have a hard time picking that to win, though, just because of the fact that they have never won one and they've been the top seed how many times. But sometimes you need a little bit of a worse regular season for your postseason. I don't know. We've seen it in a lot of sports, so who knows?
Some of these Big East schools could be tempting, like Marquette's at 3,000, Creighton's at 3,500, Xavier's at 5,000.
Yeah.
Lucky.
I don't know.
See Purdue losing in one of the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
Right now, if it's based on Lenardi, they'd play Colgate, and then the winner of Duke USC. I could see Duke beating them.
That's a tough draw to get Colgate and then Duke.
Yep.
Yeah. Interesting.
Oral Roberts is a team that's talked about, but
yeah, I mean they could be one of those teams that gets the Sweet 16 or something maybe. Who knows?
But it scares me that everybody talks about them.
Yeah, it's usually the teams no one talks about, so that's true. Yeah, it'll be interesting.
They were good last year, though. Who did they beat? I think it was Arkansas. That could be way off, though. But I remember they won a game in the tournament last year.
Yeah, so who knows then? We'll see.
And they returned their best player and a couple other guys, if I recall correctly. Who was it? Oral Roberts. Where is it? Maybe they didn't. I thought they won the game last year, though.
I'll look.
2 years ago.
Was it 2 years ago?
2 years ago, I think they won.
Yeah, you could be right.
Yeah, 2021 is what's coming up. That was their most recent appearance.
They beat Ohio State?
Yeah, they beat Ohio State and Florida and then lost to Arkansas by 2 in the Sweet 16. Oh, yeah, because there was all the memes going around about Oral.
Yeah.
That was 2 years ago?
Yep, they beat Ohio State in overtime, and then they beat Florida by 3, lost to Arkansas by 2 in the Sweet 16.
They lost Arkansas. Okay, I knew they played Arkansas.
Yep.
I knew they beat a red team.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So they've made a couple of runs throughout the years, it looked like on there, but yeah, we'll see. We'll keep an eye on those teams. Anything else for college basketball, or should we move on?
This is not like a hot take, but I'll say my early take is that there will be at least one Big East team in the Final Four.
Okay, I like that.
At least one.
I like that. They've had a really good pick. I think the conference looks tough. So, okay. One other thing I wanted to note that I forgot to note earlier was we did have a guest who made bold predictions with us. Obviously, we talked about him with the NIL, Justin. His bold prediction was this was going to be another year where a 16 beats a 1. So we have to keep an eye out for that. the field's kind of open this year. I obviously, like, you're not going to predict that, but it could be possible this year more so than other years.
Who's the 1 seed that goes down? Alabama?
Who knows? Who knows?
They don't play any defense.
Well, like, I really, we'll have to look at the matchups. We'll have to look at the bracket, but we should keep it on our radar, because if it happens, we better get that
to Alabama.
So we'll see. All right. Good to move on from college basketball then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I guess we'll pick. Okay, let's talk about other sports really quickly, and then we'll pick our podcast baseball team. Beav, you're a hockey guy. Anything special going on in hockey right now? Teams to watch, whatever?
No, we're in the conference tournament portion of the year. In hockey, the conference tournaments are like 3 weekends long.
Okay.
So it's a lengthy process, but
all right. So we got some time on that one then.
Wisconsin fired Tony Granato today.
Oh, did they?
They did.
Canada
got fired today. That was pretty expected.
Yeah,
after their performance this year. They had that one good year with Caulfield, but other than that whole tenure wasn't great.
He recruited well, and he put guys in the league, but couldn't win.
Yeah.
Right, Beef? He put a few guys in the league, didn't he? Caulfield.
Yeah. He put Caulfield. Holloway should be decent. Turcotte, I think, is still in the AHL right now. I don't think he's. Keandre Miller is honestly probably so far had the best career that Granato's coached.
He got suspended the other day.
Yeah. He spit on someone.
Oh, gosh. Respect.
It wasn't it allegedly not intentional. But
all right.
The
league's got to do what they got to do. You got to suspend them.
Absolutely. Anything else from hockey then?
I mean, I was gonna save the other college hockey story for like our one cool story
all right.
or whatever.
We'll leave that. Yeah. Okay. Other sports going on right now. Wrestling. Does anyone know anything about wrestling? No.
I know a guy from
The Rock turned into an actor,
but no, I do not.
I saw a picture on Twitter. I don't know if this was college or what, but a guy relieved his bowels in a match.
I did see that
the other day. I don't know if that was in college or not, but it was all over the place. And he's just standing there. It's like the janitor guy is like cleaning it up, or the trainer or something. That looked brutal. It looked absolutely brutal. That's about all I have for college wrestling. I might do a bracket. It's always fun because they're individual, each weight class. So you just go by who has the coolest name instead of like the teams. I don't know. That's coming up soon, though. I think same time as basketball that those brackets come out. Gymnastics, anything, Beav?
She's washed.
Okay. All right.
I do follow track and field now, though.
All right. Got it. Got any track and field takes then?
Watch out for Nebraska in the Big Ten. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Got it. All right. Saw that one coming. Women's hoops. We'll probably get more into next week. We'll probably do a bracket like we did last year. I'm just going to say, watch out for Iowa.
Didn't South Carolina go undefeated or something?
South Carolina.
Did I see that?
Good. They are so good. I honestly, after last year, I was like, I don't even think they should play this year because South Carolina is so tough. But yeah, I don't know. All right, but we'll get more into that next week when the brackets come out and all that. Mm-hmm. All right. We'll pick our baseball team, and then actually let's save that for the last. So let's go with our stories. So I don't know if you guys remember last year, we just did like random college stories or college sports stories. That's like somewhat news just to bring some variety in. Beav, you said you had a hockey story. Do you want to lead us off with that?
Sure. So the University of Alaska just had their best season since I think it was 2009, 2010. Right now, they're ranked 12th in the pairwise rankings, so it's looking like they're going to get an at-large bid to the tournament. So I think they're the team that everybody in like college hockey is pulling for.
That would be pretty cool.
Team from Alaska.
I know,
it'll be interesting.
Usually good, right?
No, they're not normally too good. Pretty tough.
Is that Alaska? Are they Anchorage?
No, there's two Alaska teams. There's Alaska Fairbanks. That's the team that's really good this year, and then there's Alaska Anchorage as well.
Because I remember
the Badgers used to be in their conference.
That was
before the Big Ten.
I remember Alaska Anchorage, like going to games and seeing them. So I just assumed.
Yeah, Alaska Anchorage used to be in the WCHA with Wisconsin, so that's how you'd know them. But
I had a bunch of pucks from the WCHA because we, the guy that worked the penalty box, we knew. So I'd run up to him after the game, and he'd give me a puck, and they'd all say the WCHA on him. But okay, all right, that's I mean, I'll be pulling for them.
Yeah, go Alaska.
I got no other allegiances. Adam, you got a story?
Yeah, it's Nick Saban being a buffoon again.
Oh,
just such a baby.
What do you do?
Really new? Is that really news?
Well, it depends what he did.
Well, he's complaining. So the SEC, they're trying to implement like a new divisionless schedule format where they'd play each team would play a set 3 teams a year, I believe, from the SEC. So obviously, it changed. Like the Badgers don't play Ohio State every year, but they play
Minnesota, Iowa, yeah. Okay.
And they give Alabama, Tennessee, Auburn, and LSU, and he's complaining about having to play those 3 teams.
Wow.
Yeah,
exactly. I'd say take out
Auburn,
your rivals, Georgia.
Yeah.
You play Georgia every year. Like, dude, you're such a baby.
Yeah.
You've however many years you've gotten like the second to last week you're playing an FCS opponent and beat them by 70. Now you're complaining that you have to play 3. He's just a baby.
3 teams in your conference that's pretty ridiculous.
That they're better than every year.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess he probably gets flashbacks from 2013 Iron Bowl, but I mean they're gonna play Auburn no matter what because that's their actual rival, and you always play them. But whatever. Yeah. Okay. That's not super surprising, but like, come on. Yeah, I'm with you there. Okay, my story was just about. It was kind of on theme with our NIL thing from earlier. The Cavender twins, who were the first athletes to ever have an NIL deal in general when they first opened, are now the first to have an NIL infraction. I don't know if you guys heard about this.
I saw something about this.
So basically, when they were on the transfer portal, because of course they were at Fresno State last year and the previous 2 years, but when they were on the transfer portal, they were going to different schools, and they met with a noted Miami booster, and obviously they ended up going to Miami, and they had dinner with this guy, and I think his pockets are pretty deep, and so I really don't understand what the infraction is though, because isn't that what NIL is? And it's other schools have offered millions for players. So I don't know. Thought it was kind of a weird story. I don't know how there can be infractions in NIL, but I think the NCAA is trying to make an example hey, you guys aren't totally free. So I don't know. Not much came out of it. Their coach got a little suspension, but wasn't crazy, but just kind of an interesting story with the way the NIL is, but I don't know. All right. So should we get our podcast baseball team this year?
Oh yeah, let's do it. Get the wheel up.
Okay. So I think the best way to do this would be to do elimination style.
Oh baby, yes.
So we're gonna go whatever the last
team
will be our team.
Yeah.
It's gonna be NC State.
It's gonna be Florida. It's gonna be Florida State.
Good enough, but I'm hoping it doesn't end up being them. All right, here we go.
Shout out to College Baseball Hub for the rankings.
Yes.
Great follow on Instagram for college
We
baseball.
will not be rooting for South Carolina.
That's tough. Tough to win.
I like the clapping.
Give me UC Santa Barbara.
Yep.
That would be
That's
fun.
who I'm pulling for as well.
They're safe. All right, good. I didn't really want to root for Bama.
That was close to Southern Miss at the end there.
Yeah, I don't really want to root for Bama ever.
Iowa's on there too. Not for long. ECU was up there for me. I was hoping ECU was going to make a run.
I don't know.
They released some like powder purple jerseys today. I don't know if you saw these or not, but
no, I didn't.
It's like a lavender colored jersey.
No,
they're disgusting.
Jesus.
All right, Maryland's gone. That would have been tough to read. I hate this clapping, but it's kind of funny. Oh! Auburn.
Oh, Auburn.
I think this is the most fun.
Oh, there they go.
Jameis
Winston.
There they go.
He's still
right
pitching
in the
there?
middle of it. Yeah.
Jameis is still hucking there?
He's going to be looking for a job after the Saints just signed Derek Carr.
Oh!
Yes!
Yeah, get him out of here.
Yes!
Fucking clowns.
That's big. That's big.
Sorry.
We're not be rooting for them this
That's
week.
what I was uncalled for.
And we're not rooting for LSU either. Those are
I don't want to
two-
root for Miami. I want Miami out of here. Thank you.
Oh.
Get there. Get there. I need
Goodbye,
Miami out of
Iowa.
here.
I would root for Southern Miss. I want UC Santa Barbara or Southern Miss.
Well, Southern Miss would be good because the last two teams have been Mississippi teams to win it.
Oh, it's their turn.
A&M, okay. I wouldn't really want to root for them. I'm with you. I'm pulling for Southern Miss now that you say that. Okay, that's fine. I'm fine with not rooting for Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right. This is
My
good.
top three are Southern Miss, UC Santa Barbara, and TCU, I think.
I think it would be funny to root for UNC, though, after having NC State last year.
That's true.
They have some
No!
Keep going.
Oh, no.
Keep going.
Yes!
Oh! Electric.
Oh, man. I'm actually liking the way this wheel is shaping out.
Once we get Miami out of here,
Miami's gone.
I'm fine with the rest of the teams now.
Man.
I'm fine with any of the rest of them.
All right. I think it's TCU.
TCU.
Okay. This is getting exciting. Oh, man.
Oh, no.
Ah.
Dream's dead. Dream's dead.
UCSB. All right. Good run.
Solid run.
Virginia
All right.
Tech, I don't hate that. Okay. What are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. We're almost to the Final Four. Okay, I don't hate that either.
All right.
This is a solid Final Four. Okay. Wow.
It's going to be poetic. We're going to get North Carolina.
I'm hoping Georgia Tech goes out next.
I agree. And they will.
Oh,
Come
man.
on.
Oh, man. Okay. I like this a lot. We could get Southern Miss. Southern Miss is due to win this year.
Who's ranked higher, Beef?
Texas Tech would be.
Well.
And Southern Miss is our team for the year. Oh,
Where
boy.
better not
Let's
miss
do
the
some
tournament.
research.
We are a Southern Miss
They're
podcast.
8-3.
Wow.
They swept Dallas Baptist last weekend.
Wow.
What's the record?
8-3. They lost 2 of 3 to Illinois.
They got a guy named Creek.
Creek?
Creek
Sure it's
Robert.
not pronounced Crick?
Eh,
All right, I'm getting New Jersey, but I'm going to get his first name on it. That would be cool. Okay, Southern Miss. I actually like this because Mississippi State won, then Ole Miss, now Southern Miss. It only makes sense. Okay, that's solid though. I mean, they better make the tournament. It sucks though. I would have liked a Power 5 or something because then they get more coverage, but whatever. This will work, right? Southern Miss baseball. Okay. All right. You guys got anything else? I'm on my phone recording, so I'm missing whatever that is. Unfortunately.
Well, the brackets should be out. When's next Sunday? Selection Sunday?
Yeah, so hopefully we're around next week. We'll at some point do that. Yeah, I guess we'll just keep an eye out for conference championship week. Should be pretty good. I hate this. It's like, I'm so like out of it, even though it's right there.
No, it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
I'll see it soon.
It might be bad, but I don't know.
All right. Well, guys, got anything else? Otherwise,
no. We'll be back the next episode's picking the bracket.
Heck yeah, that's a fun episode. We've got a lot planned. We'll try to keep it similar to how we did it last year. We'll probably also draft teams for the tournament, like by seed. I don't know if you guys remember that draft.
Yeah.
And we had that point system. It worked well. It was fun. All right. So we'll just kind of pay attention. Also, I lost the passwords to most of the socials. So I still have Instagram.
Perfect.
And the email. And so the email should be able to recover the Twitter and the TikTok. And we'll see.
All right.
But I think I threw away. I think I hand wrote it, and I think I threw away the paper like last week because I was just sorting through stuff. But yeah. Anyway, this is episode 7, season 2, episode 1. If anyone ends up watching this, thank you for watching. Otherwise, we'll probably throw some clips from today and try to get them out there. So yeah, thanks, guys.
Sure.
All right, I'll end this broadcast then, and yeah. Peace!
Tell me when it's ended.